So let's start and go see what Trimble Connect can do in real life. So this is kind of the story that I'm showing today. It's about communicating with between different project members and using the status also to visualize what is the progress or what's happening in the project. So let's start that we have a HVAC map designer who has made some changes to his model and uploaded, of course, the new model to Trimble Connect system and sent some message to the other project parties, for example, structural engineer, that okay, I made some change, so please check how is the changes related to your structures. And of course, what happens then, the structural engineer who's working in Tekla Structures can download and check the latest information, use the change management tool that you have compared to IFC files, for example, make some changes to the structural if needed, and then publish it back to the Trimble Connect cloud. This is kind of what happened already in the project, but I will show the part of what happens after that. So I will be playing a role for the project engineer and the precast installation team. So of course, during this changes that is happening in the design phase, at the same time the project engineer is doing the planning for the construction. And for example, in this case, he's planning the 2-week precast installation plan using, for example, the Trimble Connect desktop. And he's checking what is the status, is everything ready for the installation. And then of course communicating if there are some issues, communicating that information back to the structural designer or the factory. Then we jump to the construction site where the project installation team can receive, for example, this to-do of you, what is the plan to install, for example, today. And then using the status tool and the to-dos, he can check and make sure that everything is needed, and check what are the information for the planned precast element that it's planned to install. And of course use the status, for example, or the to-do for ordering some precast elements from the factory. And in this role, the factory role is that they have the production planning system, and it's already integrated to this system, so it can automatically send the status, what is the factory production situation. Or it can be done also with the desktop or Tekla or the mobile tool. But let's jump then in the demo, and of course, as a project engineer, I want to check what's happening in my project lately. I got a to-do that there is some changes in my project. I got an email from that, and now, of course, the easiest way is to go to the website. So what I can do is that I go to Trimble Connect, the web version, open the project that I'm working with, and the easiest way, like I mentioned, is jump to the Activity tab, where I can see all the things that are happening in my project. And let's see, for example, what's happening with the HVAC, so the map. And then I can see that there is some drawings, there is some new model updated, so probably there is some changes. And then I can see, for example, what's happening with the structural engineer. Also, there is some views, and there is some new model also uploaded there. So there is some changes, and I can easily see what's happening here. Okay, but I will jump then to the desktop version and then start working with the plan. Okay, first of all, I know that there was some changes in the model, and I can also notice it from automatically here. So it will understand that in the cloud there is a new version of the file, and I just press here, let's update the HVAC model. And now I can see that, okay, this was the HVAC model, that was the new model, and I can see that, okay, some of the holes and openings are not in the correct places. But also the structure engineer made some changes and updated his part of the model, and now if we go and look at the place, we can see that, okay, everything seems to be fine. So good. So this is the situation now from the design point of view. Is good that I can start doing the planning for the installation. And let's, by the way, open the status tool, so I can also start checking what is the status for the design of fabrication. So like I mentioned, this is the status tool, and I can select the task that I've been interested to see the progress, and for now I'm checking, for example, the precast detailing task, and it shows that, okay, this is the situation. So there is some hollow core slabs in here that are already ready, but these 4 are still on pause. There was some changes like we saw with the openings, but now we can, for example, select these and create to do here, and I can check, let's put it like check the statuses for these hollow cores. I'm planning to install, let's see, 18th, put it next week, and assign that to the designer. I can use individual persons, or then again the group that I made. And the due date, let's put it that they have two days to check. And it's waiting, it's pretty important that we're waiting for the answer for that. And like I mentioned, we can add additional information, more views or our attachment drawings here. Then send it to the designer, and let's see what's happening there next. Also I can see what is the situation in fabrication, and I can see that they're using this commit status. That means that they're ready. They're not made fabricated, but they're ready for fabrication. They have had the latest drawings and the B model that they can start doing the fabrication. So it's kind of, situation is good on that side. But there was some issues with the designer. Okay, and then let's follow that my installation team is updating the installation status, and then select that, okay, they have marked that on green that what has already been installed there. But let's, for example, decide that we will try plan that these are hollow cores here, selecting from here or using the search of different filters to find. But let's just select now manually here. Let's, for example, use the basic setting. No. And then create a view from this. Let's name the view that installation plan for 18th. And then this can be shared then for the installation team. Like that. And like I mentioned, the idea with these views are that you can use these to find the information easily from there. And I can also see here on the to-do tab that there was some other discussions from here. So structure engineer has commented there that please check these openings, and then we can see what are the answers for these, for example. Okay, so next phase is that we communicated this information and, for example, make the plan for installation for the 18th, and then we can continue and jump to the on-site as an installation team. And for that I will use then the Trimble Connect mobile tool, and let's see how that works and how that looks like. Okay, so now we're in Trimble Connect mobile and we have all the same projects that we saw in the web and in the desktop version. And let's open the same project that we have. We will see all the basic information we have. We can see the project members, we can see the data structure here, all the folders, all the files. We can open, for example, drawings, just download it. There's no okay, download. On iPad we don't have a like specific application for opening the PDF, but you can use the basic features that iPad has. That just open this PDF and start investigating it. So it's an easy way to have your files on different and view it. Then we can, like I mentioned, we have the data tab. Then we have also, we can create new to-dos here, or we can go and see what's happening on to-do page, or then the views that I created. Okay, the name. Okay, the name that I added, I can see from here that it was new view was the plan, so something went wrong there, naming but I can use this view now. This was the installation plan, and when I open the view, what it does, it will open the file that is related to this view. So it could be that there's several files related. Now it's a couple of models that it opened, and it selected all those hollow-core slabs that was planned to install. So this
is it included rebars? This model?
No, I have rebars, but now it's only concrete element, precast elements, and cast in place here. But you can open also rebars. So this was the plan for the installation for the 18th. But I want to check a couple of information before I do the installation. So first of all, let's start checking also what is the fabrication and is the detailing status here. Okay, the detailing looks good, everything is detailed, everything is complete. Now let's see about the fabrication. Again, fabrication is there ready to make this. Okay, I'm planning the installation, for example, day after tomorrow, so we can now maybe order some of these precast elements from the factory. And we can use different tool for that. For example, let's start the installation and plan it that it starts from here. And let's see that we have these are hollow-core slabs, and our truck is probably like 20 ton. So we can start calculating the total weight, and we can see that okay, if I select these 6, it's over 20. But if I select only these 5 hollow-core slabs, it's under the 20 tons. So let's, for example, order these from the factory. And helping the communication for the factory, I can change, for example, let's use the name of the, let me see here. So you can see that there's now the code for each element, so they know better that okay, which element are you planning to order from the site. Now I can create this to-do like I showed in different versions, but now when I select it in mobile, some of these objects, it will automatically do in the description field there, it will automatically list all the objects that I was selected on the model here on the description field. And of course then I say that this was I will install these 18th that. And then I can again put it here at the date, 18th, who will I assign it. Let's use it again, the factory or the fabricator, precast fabricator. Let's send this to do for them, and then there's different kind of information that we can add. And there's also the view from bottom there, you can add that to help them. So, and then of course I can start following my own tasks. So for example, the precast element order. Now I can see that I haven't added any status, but with selecting these 5 I can just press there completed, and it will show that these are now ordered from the model. So you can see that, okay, let's start for the first truck from there. And again, I can select here for different tasks that I will see. So let's task, for example, select first, use this, there's a multiple action, which means that I can show many tasks on same time and visualize what's the situation. Here on the first color on the left, we can see that there's the precast detailing, and then there's the precast fabrication information. But let's change that, actually use these other ones. So precast detailing, that should be done, and then precast fabrication. So we can see that, okay, precast fabrication is also done here. So we can see that the detailing is actually going on here, but everything else is already fabricated. So I can use also to visualize these several tasks at the same time, or check only one of these. Let's see now again the precast fabrication status, and it shows that there is one missing, but all the other ones are already done. So like I ordered and communicated to the factory that please fabricate these because I'm planning to install it. So everything seemed fine. And of course then I can use the installation when the day comes, the 18th, and I can start doing those. So of course I can select easily these 5 and select, see the information. Also if I want to check what is more information for this one whole core slab, I can go and see that, okay, what are the bottom level, top elevation, the weight, and some basic information of this one. But then just tap it that these are completed and now installed, and everything is working pretty well. But like I mentioned, that we can also see the history of, okay, how did our installation and how the design of fabrication works. So we have this history mode also here, and we can select that what kind of history we want to see. So I can again select the task that I want to follow, so precast element ordering, and then also the precast installation. And then you can see that there's the timeline that I can start walking through the history, and it will show the dates. Okay, first there was no information, then the installation started, that's the red color, then the precast detailing for the whole course, the precast fabrication, and then also the ordering. The order and the installation was did in the same day, so it will show only the red color, which was the installation. And I can drag here and jump in the history and visualize what was happened for the several tasks, or just picking one task and see how the installation, for example, was for this. Now I just created a couple of different dates when the installation was done, but of course if you have a real project you have several dates and you can see more detail what was installed when. This is just an example for that. Okay, that was the demonstration for the mobile and desktop, and this is not only happening here on my screen, but we have had I think 3 or 4 pilot projects already in Finland for this, and these are some basic information for that. So the actual case was this kind of that we were following the precast design, fabrication, installation, so same story that I kind of showed you. And here are the project parties that we have. So Consolis, big precast fabricator group. In Finland there's a Parma company called Parma, which is part of Consoli, and they actually created this link to Trimble Connect, so they can send every 15 minutes their factory status from several different factories to Trimble Connect service. There's the engineering company who was doing the detailing and adding the designing status also using Tekla structures. Then Skanska, as a general contractor, was using different kind of user interfaces inside office, maybe desktop Tekla structures, and then on field they were using the mobile to see the statuses, and of course following the fabrication status here for the general contractor, and the design was maybe the most important thing that they've done. They managed the installation themselves, though, for tapping all the installations. In some projects they did it, in some projects they did not, but following the whole big picture of the detailing and fabrication was the main thing that they were planning to do, and that was done. Couple of just pictures here, and maybe let's see some videos. So this is the project that they were planning, and they were following in the first project only the hollow core slabs, so not the whole project. And you can see that they have, for example, Consolis, they had different tasks. They have in stock, in production, and delivered. So you can see that they followed these tasks, and you can see all that history and different status. For example, the production here. In stock are those green ones. So this is a real project that they piloted these tools. And for example, this is from the fabricator's point of view, so different colors means different things. Ready for fabrication, slabs in production in different phase. They might have more statuses, but these are what that they published to the whole project, and they are planning to publish more information, more and more. Yeah. So summary of what's kind of the idea with this new status tools, that we are just sending these small packages through the cloud, no more Excel files or huge models, so it's only small packages and it goes almost real time. So like today, Nerius was sending from the factory side the statuses for me, and it worked here almost real time. And of course the whole idea is to get the visual presentation of the status. Everyone understands that when they see the visualization of the model, what is the situation, when it was had. And then, like Ernst has already mentioned, it's not only, our examples are precast, but you can use cast in place, also rebars. You can use the MEP or HVAC, the ducts and equipments, architectural, ceilings, doors and windows. You can follow everything that is modeled with this tool, so you can use it many ways.